In the darkest shadows of the Cold War, the Soviet Union and the United States raced toward the stars. While the world celebrated Yuri Gagarin's historic flight in 1961, rumors swirled about those who came before him, cosmonauts who never made it back. The USSR, known for its secrecy, allegedly covered up catastrophic failures, leaving behind nothing but whispers and eerie radio transmissions. One of the most chilling accounts comes from two Italian brothers, Achille and Giovanni Giudica Cordiglia, amateur radio operators who claimed to have intercepted distress signals from doomed Soviet cosmonauts. In the months leading up to Gagarin's triumphant orbit, they allegedly recorded garbled transmissions, labored breathing, panicked voices, and desperate pleas for help. March 1961. A transmission crackled through their speakers. A female voice, weak, frantic, called out in Russian, "It's getting hot, too hot. Can you hear me? I'm burning. I'm leaving." Then silence. The brothers were convinced they had just heard the last moments of a Soviet cosmonaut burning up upon re-entry. But no official Soviet mission had been reported at that time. Who was she? And why had the world never heard of her? The Soviet Union vehemently denied any such claims. They insisted that Gagarin was the first man in space and that no human missions had failed before him, but reports from defectors and declassified documents painted a different story. Some whispered of Vladimir Ilyushin, a test pilot who had allegedly reached space before Gagarin but suffered severe injuries upon landing. The official story? A car accident. The conspiracy? A cover-up to protect Soviet prestige. Then came the rumors of doomed missions drifting endlessly in space. In the early 1960s, amateur astronomers reported strange objects in orbit, believed to be failed Soviet capsules. One particular theory suggested that two cosmonauts had been launched in a secret attempt to surpass the Americans, but had overshot their trajectory, condemned to wander through the void forever. Could their lifeless bodies still be out there, frozen in time, orbiting Earth in a silent, forgotten grave? In 1963, another bizarre incident occurred. During an official mission, an American listening station supposedly intercepted a transmission from an unaccounted Soviet spacecraft. The voice was weak, barely intelligible. "We are losing control. Drifting. No response from ground command. We cannot correct. We cannot." The transmission abruptly ended. The Americans never publicly acknowledged it. The Soviets, as expected, denied everything. And then there was the moon. As the space race escalated, both nations pushed the limits of technology. But some believe the Soviets attempted a moon mission before Apollo 11 and that it ended in disaster. A Soviet lander, they claim, either crashed on the surface or failed to return, leaving its occupants to perish in the desolation of space. Officially, no manned Soviet moon missions ever happened. But did they really never try? Or did they fail so catastrophically that history was rewritten to erase their existence? Even after the collapse of the USSR, declassified files have failed to provide definitive proof. But those who believe in the lost cosmonauts argue that the truth remains hidden, buried in unmarked graves, erased from official records, and drifting in the eternal silence of space. Perhaps one day the wreckage of a forgotten spacecraft will be found, and with it the remains of those who ventured too far, whose names were never meant to be known, whose fate was sealed in the abyss. Until then, the whispers of lost voices continue to haunt the echoes of the cosmos, a chilling reminder of space's ultimate price.